So if you have been wanting to get into video editing for a while, but you just didn't know how to get started, this video is going to be perfect for you because I'm going to show you how to use iMovie as a complete beginner. And iMovie is an amazing option as a video editor because it comes for completely free for every single Mac out there. So you either already have it installed on your MacBook or iMac, or you can just go to the App Store, look it up and download it for completely free. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it and get you editing your first video. So when you first open up iMovie, this is kind of what you are going to see. iMovie's layout is super beginner friendly. There is nothing, extra in here that you don't need. So I think it's great for that reason. As you can see, we are right now in the projects tab, and this is where you're going to see all the different projects that you will create throughout time. As you can see, I just have one here. And if you want to delete any projects, you can just click on these three dots and click on delete project and then continue, and then boom, you can delete any projects you created in the past, or you can rename them and so on. Now, if you want to create a new project, what you can do is click here on this plus icon, and then you can choose from basically two options, right? You can either create a movie, which is what you are going to be using most of the time. This is where you can compile your own videos, photos, add music to it, and so on. And you also have the option to create a trailer, which is basically just you using a template that iMovie has inside of it. Now, I'm personally not a huge fan of those templates, so we're just going to stick with the movie option of iMovie, but you can play around with the templates as well yourself. Now, you can see here in this main page, you also have the media tab, which is basically where you can import all the videos, photos, and so on that you want to be using for editing later down the road. But in my opinion, it's best to just do this once you already open the new project. So that is exactly what we are going to do. You don't have to worry about this media section at all for now. So let's go ahead and create our first project, okay? So you wanna click here on this plus icon right here, click on movie, and then your first ever project is opened just like that, right? So next up, what we are going to do is we are going to be importing some videos and some music so we can start editing properly. So to import footage, what you want to do is you want to click here on Project Media, My Movie one, and here you can click on this button that says Import Media. And now you can locate where your footage is at. So in my case, I have it here on my desktop in this folder, and I'm just going to go ahead and select all these clips and audios. And you can select multiple clips and files at the same time by pressing first on just one of them and then holding shift on your keyboard. And then if I click on this lowest one, as you can see, it selected all of them. Now, if you want to just select certain specific files individually, what you can do is press Command while clicking on the next file, and then it's just going to select those that you click on while you are holding Command on your keyboard. So I'm going to click on Import All, and as you can see, just like that, they appeared here. So I have 4 clips right here, and they are all kind of like this forest theme. And you can see if you hover over these clips right here, you can see how long they are. So this one is 28 seconds. This one is 13.3 seconds, this one is 15, and so on. You get the idea. And the same goes for music. You can also see how long each one of your songs or sound effects are. Now, in terms of iMovie's layout, like I said, it is really beginner friendly because there are not like too many complicated options in here. Basically, here on the left, you will have all your, projects in the future. If you have multiple, you can create libraries from them. You can have your photos here and so on. Then here you have your media, and you can see we can actually switch between different tabs here. So you can have the media tab, you can have the audio and video tab where you can find also like sound effects that iMovie has built in. You can click on this titles tab here where you can find all the different kind of text animations, for example, that you can just drag and drop into your timeline. And also it shows you a little preview of how that's going to look. On the right side, you have this backgrounds tab here, which you can use to select these different kind of backgrounds. And with all of these, you can just drag and drop them on your timeline, which we are going to get into, and use them as you wish. And also we have this transitions tab. You also have this preview window right here, which is where you are going to see basically what you just created and how the final project is kind of going to look. And you have this timeline right here on the bottom. The timeline is where you are actually going to be, changing up the order of clips, editing them. So like it says right here, you can just drag and drop any clip you want on the timeline, and then it's actually going to appear. So I can just go ahead, click here on this forest, drag and drop it here. And now I have this timeline, which I can scroll through. I can click anywhere, I can press the space bar, and then it's going to start playing my footage. And yeah, I can start my editing workflow there. You can see that you can also adjust some settings on your timeline. So for example, you can adjust right here with this little scale slider how zoomed in it is. To the left, it's more zoomed out. To the right, it's more zoomed in. And if you click here on settings, there are also some more settings that you can set. For example, you can set the project's resolution. So here it's set to 1080p. You can, also change the clip size. So change up how big each clip is going to be on the timeline. And that's just for your kind of ease of use. It's not going to affect the final video. It's just to make your editing experience easier. Let me show you a couple other cool things when it comes to importing the footage into your timeline. So like I already showed you, you can either just drag and drop a whole clip into your timeline, and just like that, it's going to add the entire clip that you have imported into your iMovie from beginning to end. Or another thing you can do is, as you hover your mouse or your cursor over the certain clip, you can stop where you want the clip to begin. So for example, if I wanted it to start here, I can press I on my keyboard to set the in point for the clip. And I can go, let's say I want it to end here, and I can press O for out on my keyboard, and then it's going to set the out point. And now I can either just drag and drop it to my timeline like that, and now it's not going to, put the whole 13.3 second clip in this case onto my timeline, only the part that I selected. Or there is also a cool kind of keyboard shortcut that you can do if you have a range selected in a certain clip, which is pressing E on your keyboard, and then it's automatically going to be added to your timeline. So that's pretty neat. And just to show you again how it works, you go to the part where you want the clip to begin here, you set I on your keyboard for in, go to where you want it to end, press O for out, and then you press E on your keyboard, and it's going to add that selected area right there. If you also want to adjust this selected range, you can use the edge of the selection here to pull it to the right side and left side and change the selected range. Or you can also just click off of it, and then it's going to get rid of your selection entirely. All right, so now I have added, as you can see, 4 clips to my timeline. So if I play this back, it goes from this drone shot of the forest into some people walking in there, and then it cuts to this different shot of the trees, and then it cuts to this shot of this parrot. Now, if you want to make some further adjustments to these clips, there are a couple things you can do as always. So first one is you can adjust the clip's length by dragging it on the sides and pulling it to one of the directions. So for example, if I wanted to make this forest clip shorter, I could pull it from the left side, and I could pull it from the right side as well. And then I'm basically just trimming the clip to make it shorter. I can also change the order of these clips. So for example, if I wanted this video of the hikers to be after this forest shot, I can literally just drag it and drop it here after, and all the clips are going to snap into place, and I just change the order like that. And same goes for this. If I wanted to the parrot to be the opening shot, I can just drag it to the very beginning, and it's going to do it. So I think this is super easy to use and pretty easy to understand as well. So you can basically just select your clips, drop them on the timeline, arrange them however you want to. Now, what if you want to make a cut? Let's say I wanted to cut this video into 2 separate parts. Well, here's a very simple shortcut that you can use to cut a video into 2 pieces. You can go with your playhead, which is this right here, right, where you have the white line. You go with your playhead to where you want to split the clip into 2 parts, and then you press Command plus B on your keyboard. And you can see, if I zoom in, now it has cut it into 2 separate pieces. So I could move this to here, for example, and now I made, 2 separate clips from that one clip. Let's say I wanted to cut out just this middle section here. Well, I could just put my playhead here, for example, press Command plus B, and then I can select the middle section, and you can see what's highlighted by this yellow kind of like outline. And then if I just hit delete on my keyboard, boom, you can see that it's gone from my project. So now I have cut out that middle section. And you know, deleting any clips goes same way. I can just highlight it, press delete on my keyboard, and it's going to delete it. Now let's talk about adding songs and sound effects to your video project. So I have been using Epidemic Sound Service for music licensing for over 5 years at this point, throughout different client projects and also my personal YouTube channel. So if you're also looking to publish your videos to YouTube, social media in general, or pretty much anywhere on the internet, and you want to make sure it doesn't get taken down or demonetized because of the music you use, Epidemic Sound is basically the perfect solution for you. They are a music and sound effect licensing platform where you can just pay a small monthly fee instead of having to license songs individually, which could cost you potentially thousands of dollars. And you get access to their, you know, huge library of amazing quality songs. They have, I think, over 30,000 songs and 90,000 plus sound effects at this point. And you can use them freely in all your projects without having to worry about getting your videos taken down. What I also love is that they keep adding new fresh tracks every single week, and all the music and sound effects are nicely organized into different playlists and moods, so you can find the exact song that you are looking for that is going to fit your project. If you sign up with the link in the description of this video for a free 30-day trial, you can actually try it out for yourself, use it in your own videos, and if you don't like it, you can just cancel at any times. You're not gonna have to pay anything, but I'm pretty sure you are going to like it because, like I said, I have been their user for a while and I can highly, you know, recommend them to you. So thank you so much, Epidemic, for sponsoring this video, and let's get right back into the tutorial. All right, so how do you actually go about adding songs and sound effects? Well, here it is. You just select the song that you want to add. So for example, I have this song right here from Epidemic Sound, and you just drag it under the clips, right? And just like that, I have added this amazing song to my timeline. And if I want to change the volume of this song, what I can always do is just come here to where this kind of like yellow line is, and I can just drag that down like so. And you can see the percentage that you are dragging down the original volume to. So for example, if I want it to be, you know, let's say 25% of the original volume, I can just drag it down to that. And then my audio or my song is going to be a lot quieter. You can also come here to this volume tab and change the volume to the exact percentage that you want. They also have this auto button, which is going to set it automatically to improve the loudness. So for example, if you have a conversation or something and it's not loud enough, you can click on the auto button and see how it, you know, does kind of. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And as for adding sound effects to your video, it goes the same way. I have this sound effect here. Let's say I want just this middle section of it, so I'm just going to press I and O to set the in and out points, and I can just drag it here, even one section under that, and now I have this forest sound, you know, as well here. And you can also cut music and songs just like how you can cut videos by pressing Command plus B on your keyboard. So I'm going to make a cut to both of these. Another cool thing that you can do with audio is you can fade the beginning and the end of a certain song. So for example, you can come here with your cursor to the end and then just drag it more towards the left, and then it's going to create this fade in and out effect. So the music doesn't just come off like super harsh from the get-go and just end abruptly. It's going to slowly go from like super quiet to the regular volume, and then at the end it's going to like slowly fade out, and it just gives your project a much more professional feel. All right, now let's talk a little bit about how to add B-roll. So let's say I wanted to add this parrot clip to this first clip as B-roll. So I wanted to have it on top of it. Well, if you want to stack clips on top of each other, you know, you just drag it on top of it, as you would imagine probably, and then it's going to be seen as the, you know, the priority footage. So basically you can have even like 2 layers on top of each other, and whatever is on the highest layer is what is going to get priority in terms of the video, right? And here you can change between these settings if you come to this right here. And so you have this cutaway, you have the blue and green screen option, which is what you would use if you're using green screen. You have the split screen effect. So if you click that, you can see that both clips are visible side by side, and you can change the positioning of those as well here. And you also have this picture-in-picture view, which is going to allow you to kind of like position it however you want to on your clip. So for example, if you were editing like a reaction video or like a gaming video, you could add your face cam into one of the corners and adjust it to your exact liking. So just like that, now I have the clip of the parrot here on top of this rainforest video. Now let's touch a little bit on adding some text to your videos, right? So that's probably something that you are going to want to do in the future. And to do it, it's super simple. You just come here to the titles tab, and then you choose one that you like. Okay, so for example, I want to use this one. I'm just going to drag and drop it over my clip right here. And you can adjust the duration of it by dragging it out. You know, you can do it on both of the sides. So let's say I wanted to cover this entire section, and you can click on it. You can double click on the text here in your preview panel, and you can change the text to whatever you want to. Let's say I'm just gonna put in forest because I'm super creative right now. You can highlight your entire text and you can change it to whatever font you want to use. For example, I'm going to use this Helvetica font, and you can change the positioning of it as well. You can change the sizing of it. You can make it bold if you want to, or cursive. All of these things you can adjust right here. And just like that, if we watch this back, we have this cool like animated text that pops up on top of our footage. So they have a bunch of different options as for you know, like text templates. So just go with whatever one fits your video the most. As for backgrounds, I'm not going to spend much time explaining them. Basically, these are just these different backgrounds that you can use. You can drag and drop any of them on top of your video. So for example, if I wanted to have a background for this text, I can just put it under the text layer, and then it's going to have it as the background of that. And you can change the length of these just like how you can with the clips and texts and so on. All right, now let's touch a little bit on the transitions. So if you want to apply a transition between two clips, just come here to your transitions tab. You're going to have all these transitions installed into iMovie. So I'm just going to use this basic cross dissolve one, for example, and you can just drag and drop it here between two clips. And now if I play this back, you can see one clip slowly fades into the other one. They have a bunch of other like very funky ones as well, like this cube, which looks like it's straight out of like a 2008 PowerPoint presentation. So there you go. If you want to make real like boomer videos, perfect option for you. Didn't mean to offend anyone, but it's true. Like, you guys gotta stop using this. Looks ridiculous. Anyways, all right, let's talk a little bit more about these features right here on the top. So here are some things that you can do with each and every single clip, right? First off, here we have this like setting where you can set the color balance. So you can basically adjust the white balance of your video. You can adjust the skin tones, or you can just click this like auto button, and it's automatically going to color your footage based on what iMovie thinks is going to look best. And usually it actually looks pretty decent. So, or you can also just click this magic wand button, and it's going to apply those changes. And you can see it actually did make it look quite a lot better in my opinion. Now, if you come here to this little color palette thing, you can also adjust the colors individually. So you can make your footage like colder or warmer with this slider. With this one, you can adjust the saturation of the certain clip, and you're always going to be adjusting the colors of the clip that is highlighted at the moment, which again you can see by the yellow outline. And you can also adjust the highlights and the shadows individually by using this slider. Next up, we have the cropping option right here. So you can see you can choose from 3 different styles here. You have the fit, which is going to just adjust the clip to you know, match the exact resolution and aspect ratio that you have on your timeline. You have this crop to fill, so you can crop your video to, you know, still fill up the whole screen, but if you want to crop it like this, for example, it's going to crop it more. You also have this Ken Burns one, which is going to allow you to animate your clips if you want to. But for now, I'm just going to leave this clip on fit. You also have this stabilization like option right here. So if I watch this clip, you can see it's a little bit shaky, not too much, but if I click here on this stabilize shaky video button, it's going to analyze the clip and it's going to try to make it, you know, look much smoother. So this can be useful, for example, if you are editing like handheld footage with your iPhone or something like that. You can see it really just like smoothened out all that little bit of like shakiness that was in the video. You could also adjust the volume of your clip right here, but this clip doesn't have any sound with it, so there's that. And you can also reduce noise of certain clips here, but again, this clip doesn't have that. Next up, you can also adjust the speed of your clip with this little speedometer button. So if you come here, you can, you know, choose from normal speed. You can make it slower by clicking on slow, and you can choose how slow you want it to be. For example, let's say 50%, and then it's going to play in slow motion. Or you can also make it faster and click on fast, and then choose whether you want 2x, 4x, 8x, or so on. You can see now that parrot is eating really fast. You can also choose freeze frame, which is just going to freeze the certain frame that you have, like the name suggests. And yeah, these are basically like your speed options. And then next up, we have the effects as well and the different filters. So you can choose from all these different kind of like video filters. Let's say I wanted to use this camo one. You can see it applied that filter, which is like kind of like a color filter for your video. You can choose how strong you want the filter to be from a scale of 0 to 100%. And you also have this button here, which gives you more information about the clip, like the original name, the date of it, and the duration of the clip. And you can also just reset your clip to the exact beginning if you click reset all here, in case you messed up something really bad. Now, I think this kind of goes without saying, but in iMovie, just like how you can in any other application pretty much, you can always undo changes by pressing Command and Z on your keyboard, or you can redo changes as well by pressing Shift, Command and Z on your keyboard if you want to go you know, between different stages of the editing that you have done. So for example, if you know, add a filter here and you want to get rid of it or redo that change, just press Command Z and it's going to undo your last change to the clip. Or if you want to redo it, you just press Shift Command Z and it's going to redo the change. So that's pretty much it. Now, once you have edited your masterpiece and you are ready to publish it to YouTube or send it to your friends or whatever it might be, what you want to do next is you want to export your video, right? So what you want to do is you want to come to the top right corner where it says share, click on that, and you can now click here on export file, but you could also actually save the current frame that your preview window is at. So if you wanted to just save this frame of the parrot, you could click here on save current frame and then it would just export this as a picture. But in this case, we want to export it as the entire file. So I'm going to click on export file. You can name your video to whatever you want to here. So I'm going to name it Forest. You can choose the format that you want. So you want to click on video and audio. You can choose the resolution. We want 1080p in this case. And you can also choose the kind of quality you want. So you can choose between low, medium, high, and best. For the most part, you're going to be fine with high. And in terms of compression, you can choose whether you want the export to be faster or better quality. I usually recommend just better quality if you have some time to wait, and then you can click on next and you can choose where you want the clip to be exported to. So in this case, I'm going to choose my desktop. You click on save and now your video is exporting, and you can check the progress right here on the top right corner, and it's also showing you how much time is left from the export. And once that is done, we can go and find the video that we exported and watch it back, and you can see all the changes that we made to the video are right here. So I hope you guys found this video valuable. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to get Epidemic Sound, then click the link in the description below and register. Try it out for a month, see if you like it or not. It could be very useful for your upcoming YouTube videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.